Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler.
What is up, Lock Shoppers? Welcome to the Lock Shop presented by Play Alberta right here at Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Matt Iwanek in for Dustin. He will be joining us in about 8 minutes' time here on the Lock Shop. Huss will be joining us for the whole show. So we've got a lot to get to on this show today. Got to get set for Week 7 in the National Football League. Dusty and Huss, they'll give you their best bets for this weekend. They'll also build a player or player parlay, prop parlay, as well as we'll get into, they'll build a little bit of a NFL parlay for this weekend as well. Then with Huss and I, we do got to talk to Toronto Blue Jays. They've eased up this series at 2 games apiece. In the ALCS, the next game taking place 4:08 first pitch out in Seattle today. So we'll talk a little bit of Jays, and we also have to get into the Canadian Football League as it is the second last weekend, the penultimate weekend of the regular season of the Canadian Football League. We'll have to get through those lines and make some picks. Big game for the Edmonton Elks tonight. They're out in BC to take on the Lions. They need this victory to keep their playoff hopes alive. What will really help their playoff hopes alive, keeping them alive tonight as well, will be the Winnipeg Blue Bombers losing to a Saskatchewan Roughriders team who are starting to rest players. So not a good look for the Edmonton Elks, but they will need that. But if the Bombers win, the Elks still have a chance if the Stamps lose to the Argos, which is going to be tough in itself, but that game gets going tomorrow. The path still is there for the Edmonton Elks, so a big weekend for them. So we will talk Canadian Football League in the second half of the Lock Shop today. But again, we have Jays to talk about, we got CFL to talk about, we have NFL to talk about, and we'll see if we have some time to fit in some National Hockey League as well, because we got to fit that in. But everything is happening right now, and as of Tuesday next week, the NBA regular season, it's back. So then we got to get into the NBA as we're close to an equinox in sports as well. Let's bring him in right now. Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk is on the show. Huss, how are we doing today?
Matty, it's Friday. Not particularly nice out today for a football game tonight, but the weekend is here. And I mean, these last few nights have been so much fun for sports fans. And we had a nice jet win to kick things off last night. Rolled right into just that amazing Blue Jays game, and even got the Joe Flacco show last night. How about that from Unk? What a performance last night. I had Jamar Chase in fantasy. He had like over 40 points. It was crazy.
Yeah, Joe Flacco. He has many Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers, better quarterback all time. And he's always good for that, Joe Flacco. He's done that the last 5 years or whatever. He's good for a couple of starts. Like last weekend, It was very short from when he got traded to the Sunday. So, but he got his time with the Bengals, and naturally gets a divisional win because that's what he does. Like the Bengals with Joe Flacco in 2 weeks from now are going to be miserable. He's going to throw 3 interceptions, and they're going to be awful. But it just seems in those early games, he'll go out and put you in a spot to go get a victory, and he goes and does it against a one-loss team prior to that in the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just incredible.
It was just, I mean, that was basically sandlot football last night. He knew where Jamar Chase was, and he would take 2 or 3 steps and throw to Chase every single play. We were sitting there. We needed an over 6.5 reception prop. Well, he had one taken back towards the end of the first half. He got the next 3 balls right afterwards. He ended up with 16. I think he had targeted 20 times in the game. And it just looked so easy for them last night. I'm a big Flacco guy. I think it's hilarious that he's still doing it. And I caught a clip this morning from Cleveland Sports Radio of the guys just losing their mind that their GM would trade Flacco in the division to a desperate rival for a 5th-round pick, and then next thing you see is him carving up the first-place Pittsburgh Steelers in prime time.
Yeah, except the Browns aren't going anywhere this year.
Well,
like,
true.
I from a Browns you're not going anywhere. Who cares that he's going? Like, I guess maybe the division rival. Bengals aren't really, unless Joe Burrow comes back, in enough time and he has enough runway to get them in the playoffs.
Oh, it's going to be on Flacco to get them in the playoffs.
But that's the thing. He's not going to do that. And I think that's a little bit of an overreaction from the Cleveland fans out there. I'll always have a soft spot for Joe Flacco. I'll always defend Joe Flacco. To me, I forgot, it's the Ring of Honor, whatever it is for the Baltimore Ravens. He needs to go up there. He was a great Raven, won a lot of playoff games, but won a Super Bowl as well. And he went 11-0 in touchdowns to interceptions in that playoff year. He was fantastic. The only other quarterback to ever do that is John Elway. So I will always love Joe Flacco and have time for Joe Flacco. And also, just from a Ravens perspective, in one way, it stinks that the Bengals do get a victory, but the fact that the Steelers lose, I need the Steelers to have a few losses, because if the Ravens are coming back after this weekend and want a chance at the playoffs, the wild card is one thing, especially with the expanded, but this is also a winnable division. And the more the Steelers lose, and between them, the Bengals and the Browns, the Ravens maybe could be a team that goes 8-8 possibly and makes the playoffs or something. So selfishly, I also just hate the Steelers, but that win yesterday, big for the Baltimore Ravens, who are on a bye. Dusty's going to join us momentarily here, by the way, as you guys could get into your NFL picks for this weekend. We'll build a parlay, as well as we'll get a player prop parlay going. And then we'll do CFL and dive a little bit more into the Jays a little bit later. But your thoughts on the Jays these last 2 games and even up this series. Now it's a best of 3 in the ALCS.
Absolutely phenomenal response from the Blue Jays. And dude, it was just deja vu again last night. I mean, Jimenez with the 2-run shot in the 3rd inning to get the Jays on the board, and at that point get the lead. I mean, when your 9-hole hitter is stepping up and doing that, and I mean, what about IKF? The fact that IKF is playing for the Blue Jays in the American League Championship Series after being signed, ditched, toiling all year with the embarrassingly bad Pittsburgh Pirates, and now all of a sudden making impact plays in the Championship Series, it's truly phenomenal. I mean, the story for me last night was Scherzer. We knew that psycho had the opportunity for a legacy game, and he delivered. And it also delivered one of the greatest sights. I mean, that scene of Schneider going out to the mound, and we almost had our first ever homicide on the field in the American League Championship Series. Dude, a one-of-a-kinder. And I mean, that money they spent on Scherzer that looked kind of pretty iffy throughout the regular season, then he wasn't even on the roster in the DS. Money well spent because of last night. And now they've got all the momentum. I said yesterday on the program, I think whoever wins game 4 is going to win this series. Jays are in a great spot right now and would be even better if they could run the table on the games in Seattle with a win tonight with Gosman on the hill.
With that, let's bring in the guy who's wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hat, Dusty Nielsen. Dusty out in Vancouver. And Dusty, before we get to the NFL, your thoughts on the Jays evening this up? Oh, you're muted. We're not hearing you. Oh, there we go, I think. No, still can't hear him. Is he muted on our end? No, you're not muted on our end. So this sounds like it might be a you issue. Is this what you were having a few days ago? Issue? Oh, he did a podcast, Montreal Alouettes fan podcast, The Flight Deck, on Wednesday. And his mic was having issues, and it just went it's muted, but you can't unmute it for some reason. So we'll have to get him back up there.
Well, I know when we were trying to get him on from Subway, I think it was like a Google Chrome thing.
No, but he was using a different computer for that. So we have on location computer, and that's what he was using that day. This is his own personal computer, and he's just having the issue. I could just see him shaking his head. He just signed out. He'll sign back in right away here. 4:08 tonight. Well, this afternoon here. 5:08 out in Winnipeg is when the Jays and the Mariners will get going. Gosman heads to the mound for the Jays. Miller goes to the mound for the Mariners. As I said, we'll get to that one a little bit later. Okay, let's dive a little bit into the NFL this upcoming weekend, Huss. And when Dusty's on, we'll just recap a little bit what we go on here. For you, what's kind of like the biggest game that you see for this weekend? That we'll start with your, like we talked about earlier this week, Chiefs minus 12.5. Your feelings change at all when it comes to how you look at this Raiders game?
I mean, listen, history has told us that, betting the Chiefs to cover these huge spreads is a losing bet more often than not. Chiefs don't care about winning by margin. They care about winning. And it's pretty tough to lay a big number, even though I do think that they'll be jacked up with Rashee Rice back in the lineup to really put one on the Raiders. But this is a game, they obviously have to have. They sort of gave that one up to Jacksonville late. They're only 3-3 despite playing quite well as of late. So it is weird. And the Chiefs almost never play at noon either. They actually have an early game in the early time slot against a division rival. It'll be all eyes on Rashee Rice and just how the Chiefs offense looks now that they've got all their weapons together for the first time. I mean, they'll have never had Rice and Hollywood Brown together on the field at the same time. And obviously we know what Xavier Worthy's meant to the offense so far. So I'm going to get into a couple props that I like in that game. I know a lot of people that are on the Raiders plus 12.5, and I can't really dispute that. I mean, history would tell you that more often than not, that team will cover a big number like this, but I can't wait. And my favorite game, and I'm sure Dusty's got some thoughts on this, is actually the Monday Nighter, which we'll have some time on Monday to talk about. But to me, the Lions-Buccaneers game is probably the biggest game on the slate. And to be honest, I think that my favorite pick of the week is the Lions minus 5.5. I think they're going to absolutely steamroll Tampa in a big bounce-back game after sort of getting their lunch handed to them in an underwhelming performance by Lions standards at Arrowhead last week.
Dust, do we have
Can you guys hear me now?
Hey, we can hear you.
I don't know what's going on with this computer. It's so bizarre. Anyway, I got my laptop or my iPad, so we're good to go. I wish, Hush, you made a good point about the first ever almost homicide in the ALCS. Can you imagine if Snyder walked up and Scherzer just slapped him, like just
Will Smith, Chris Rock
turns around and walks back off. I mean, that was awesome. I got into Vancouver. I came to the hotel, and I had the Oilers game on my iPad. I had the Jays game on the TV, and then I had the football game on my phone. So I had all the devices going last night. It was awesome. Then I went out, caught the end of the baseball game, and the end of the football game at Relish, a little pub here that I like going to. But I mean, even that football game was wild. Two old bastards going back and forth, just slinging it. T. Higgins is back in fantasy. That was big for me. So it was a great sports night, man. Absolutely amazing. And being here in Vancouver, there were a few pretty sad Mariners fans at the pub last night. They were. It was quiet. It was quiet last night.
Okay, what was it? More a Jays crowd or a Mariners
crowd?
It
wasn't packed. I would say. I mean, I was the only one wearing anything Jays. Like, it wasn't a sports bar that I went to, but there was a table next to me with four guys who were Mariners fans, and they were pretty chill. They were pretty sad at the end of the day, which was fine. I mean, that was a lot of fun.
Okay, where do we want to begin? Dusty, week 7. What are you looking at for one of your picks?
Let's start. Let's see here. Just quickly on that, I'm staying away from that Raiders Chiefs line. Like it's tough. That's a big number.
Yeah.
I mean, Chiefs are going to win that football game for sure, but that's a big number to cover. It's sitting at 11.5 right now too, right? Like
12.5
this week. I think was it 12? I thought I saw 11.5 this morning when I was looking. Anyway, I still stay away from it. I'll go. Let's start with New England. I'm going to go with the New England Patriots. I know they're trying to switch things up in Tennessee. I don't think it matters. I mean, I think Drake May is going to absolutely feast this week as well. All of the Titans' losses so far this year have been by 8 points or more. New England obviously is building some momentum. Drake May doesn't have great weapons, but he's making the most of the weapons that he has here. So it's 7. They're on the road, but I don't care. I'm going to start my picks with New England minus 7 here.
I'm with you on that one. I may as well just back you up on this. Like, I know Callahan's been fired. Mike McCoy is not going to come in and turn this thing around in a week. And like the Patriots are a first place team right now. They have so much to play for going for them. And if you look at their schedule, guys, it is soft.
Yep.
I mean, that win in Buffalo was so massive for them in that they've got the head-to-head win. They've got the rematch at home later on. And other than that, I mean, a lot of teams that they're going to be favored against the rest of this year. So, I mean, the other part of it that we can't ignore is that this is the Mike Vrabel revenge game.
Yes.
Vrabel's rolling in.
Yeah, add that to the mix. You're right. He's not going to let
Drake
up.
May of the team that fired him. That
freshly off for firing his replacement.
A terrible, terrible decision. And Vrabel is doing what he's done before, and that's get the most out of his roster and show that he's one of the better coaches in the National Football League. So I think this is going to be a fun homecoming for Vrabel and the Patriots. These teams are on different levels, and the Patriots are ascending right now. And you talk about the weapons for Drake May. I'll offer up that he is the weapon right now. Yeah. He's playing as well as just about any quarterback in the league. He can run. He can do it with his arm. I think it's going to be a long day for the Titans and a tough start for Mike McCoy's time as the head coach of the Titans.
Patriots schedule. Just quick. The Patriots schedule. It goes Titans, Browns, Falcons, Bucks, Jets, Bengals, Giants, Bills, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins. So there's a path there to getting to 9-10 wins, no question.
I was going to say there's a 10-win season in there somewhere.
And then when you're talking about the New England Patriots back in the playoffs, where are you going next, Dusty?
I'm going to go red hot Chicago Bears. -4.5 against the Saints. The Bears have been competitive outside of the one game against Detroit. They've won 3 and lost a tight one to the Minnesota Vikings. So, and this is not, Caleb Williams is frustrating. Watching Caleb Williams, I watched a lot of that Commanders Bears game last week, and Williams is frustrating. You can tell he has all the natural abilities that you want, but his decision-making really sucks sometimes. But Swift has been outstanding so far this year, and Chicago's defense feasts on turnovers. They have the best turnover differential in the entire league right now at +8 through the first 6 weeks of the year. So I think their defense is going to cause all sort of problems for the Saints, and I think Williams and that offense will be able to take care of business. So let's go Chicago Bears, -4.5 to go 4 wins in a row against the old pesky Saints who have 1 win this year. It was against the Giants. So more on the Giants a little bit later on, but I'll go Chicago -4 for my second pick of the week.
All right. I kind of teased this earlier. My favorite pick of the week is the Lions -5.5. Listen, credit where credit is due. The job Baker Mayfield is doing.
I was going to say, you're not worried about Baker pulling out some magic. As a Lions fan, I'm kind of worried about Baker. It's just.
Listen, you can only go to the well so many times. I mean, the bottom line is he doesn't have any of his weapons right now. Bucky Irving's been ruled out. All of his receivers are gone.
Isn't Mike Evans coming back this week?
Well, questionable, I think, is
so yet to be determined. Okay.
We'll see about that. The bottom line is I think this is just a terrible spot for Tampa. I mean, going into Detroit to take on a Lions team in a huge high leverage game when it comes to the NFC, coming off of a loss. I think the number is the Lions following a loss under Dan Campbell are 20-8 against the spread. As I say, I mean, this is, I think, a get-right game for Detroit, an incredibly important game. They've got the extra day. They played, of course, last Sunday. So, they'll have the practice. They'll be ready to go. They'll be running the football. And the Bucs defense has been good, but they're going to be up against the most powerful offense, I think, that they've seen and are going to have to deal with probably most of the year. So Baker gets the flowers for what he's done so far, but this, I think, is a tall task. I love Detroit in this game. By anything under a touchdown, I'll take it. So Detroit on Monday night, -5.5 is pick number 2, Dusty.
I'm going to go with the Giants plus a touchdown against the Denver Broncos. Like, the Broncos are a better football team, don't get me wrong. But have the Broncos done anything this year that make you comfortable at -7? And I don't necessarily think that's the case. And they're coming back from overseas. Like, I don't necessarily love this spot for the Broncos to cover a big number. And look, the Giants' defense has been competitive. We know, I was reading some stuff last night on Jackson Dart and the start that he's had 50 yards rushing in all three of his starts so far. And no, Denver's going to make sure they contain him. I'm not sure they do. I mean, I think Jackson Dart finds a way to get some yards. They can certainly run the ball. Hopefully be able to control that a little bit. Denver's defense is legit, but Denver's offense has been kind of meh, I think, personally, so far this year from what I've seen. So I just think when your offense hasn't been firing on all cylinders, having to cover by 7 is probably asking a little bit too much. So I'm going to go New York Giants +7 on the road against the Broncos.
Hey, I'm right there with you. That was my other pick. We've got both on the Giants. I think this parlay is going to come together quite easily. Here's one other thing about the Broncos. Last week, they held the New York Jets to -10 passing yards. They barely won the football game. They beat the Jets by 2, a team that did literally nothing passing the football and didn't run it particularly well either. So while their defense is absolutely good and it'll be a challenge, their offense is kind of stuck in neutral. And guys, this New York Giants defense is no joke. I mean, Burns is right there at the top of the sack leaders in the league. This Abdul Carter's the leader for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And they can get to the quarterback. And here's the thing. Bo Nix, I know everyone was expecting a big jump by him. I know Sean Payton was. It just hasn't happened yet this year. Are they good enough to win the football game? Yes. Do I trust Sean Payton to find a way to win? Yeah. But, I mean, I'm not laying anything on a margin for the Broncos right now against that. And let's face it, the Giants are fun right now. They got some swag. They got the, Dart and, of course, Scattaboo. They've found ways to get some points to stay in games. And obviously they're on a big high with some extra rest coming off that big win over Philly the week before. Now, again, this is also the team that lost in New Orleans the week before. So, I mean, there's many ways that this could go, but it is very difficult to look at Denver. And I think your point about coming back from being in Europe and playing this week is noted as well. I think this is going to be a close one. So, Giants +7. The other pick that I've got right now, I'm going to take Indy +2 in LA against the Chargers. Listen, I think the Chargers, the Justin Herbert play at the end of the game last week, if you saw that he was just about sacked, he got out of it, hit McConkey, who then deked a guy, went for another 25 yards, and they hit that field goal. I mean, a great way to win and finish the football game. But it's hard to ignore the fact that they let the lowly Dolphins score 2 touchdowns in the previous 5 minutes to take the lead in the final minute of the game. And I got to tell you right now, the Indianapolis Colts aren't sexy, but man, are they good and are they well-rounded? I mean, Jonathan Taylor's having one of the great running back seasons right now, and Danny Dimes just simply completes passes. He throws catchable balls to his receiver. It's simple. It works, but they didn't have that before. And the Colts defense is quietly, has had some big nights as well. To me, the Chargers are in such a tough spot with the devastated offensive line. They're down their top running backs as well. This is going to be a game that I think Indy wins outright. So I'm going to take the points +2 right now for Indianapolis. And I'll be loving that as well if it happens. I mean, if you could sign me up for a Chargers loss and a Broncos loss, I'd really love it. But I mean, to me, I love Indy in this situation. I think that they are just one of the best teams in the AFC right now, well-rounded, probably don't get the love that they maybe deserve right now. People are still going, wait a second, is this Daniel Jones doing it? The answer to those questions is yes, and I think they get it done on Sunday.
That's a 2-point game. I got 2 more games, and they're both games with 2-point spreads. I'm actually going to go with the Carolina Panthers -2 points against the Jets. And I know the Jets have to win sometime, and maybe the Panthers are a team you could get it, but no Garrett Wilson. And their offensive passing game sucked without him. So the only way they're going to generate things is going to be on the ground. Problem is that Carolina actually is okay defensively against the rush. And Carolina's had some moments this year. Like they've stepped up and won some football games that the Jets haven't even had a sniff of so far. I believe they're getting Jalen Coker back this week. I'm not sure what the status of Chuba Hubbard is, but I almost would prefer him not to go because I got Dowdle in a couple leagues, and he's third in the league in rushing yards, and he's only really started 2 games. Like, it's insane what that guy's been able to do. So
Chuba could be 100%. If Canales moves away from Rico Dowdle to get Chuba back in, he's insane.
Crazy right now. Like,
Dowdle numbers the last 2 weeks have just been crazy, like off the charts.
He's that guy. He's that meme of that guy walking who's on fire. Like, he's just absolutely on fire right now. And the Jets have nothing going for him.
Chuba doesn't have an injury designation for the game, according to their official website. That's from just about an hour ago. So it looks like he's cleared for a return.
I would think, right? Like, you're not just giving all the touches back to Chuba Hubbard here. I mean, they're going to have to. In fact, I heard on a podcast earlier in the week, like, worst case scenario would be a split. But if Dowdle comes out of the gate and starts doing what he's been doing, then I just don't know how you don't continue to feed that guy if you're desperate for wins. So I like Carolina -2. And then I might actually take the Falcons as a 2-point dog here against San Francisco. I know they're going to get Kittle back, but they don't have Fred Warner. And first of all, nobody's been able to stop Bijan Robinson all year. I mean, the numbers that this guy is putting up are absolutely insane. The Niners defense is banged up. The one guy that might be able to stop him isn't going to be there. And Atlanta, they put together a couple pretty decent outings here. So I'm going to take Atlanta on the road as a 2-point dog. I've seen some places that have made pretty convincing argument that they should be the favorite in this game. I'm not going to go that far to say they should be the favorite, but I like the +2 here. And Bijan is just, I mean, he is lights out right now. And I don't know if they'll go back to the same recipe that got the job done for them last week. I mean, we know they're coming in off of a very impressive victory against the Bills, but that was a 2-man show. I mean, that was Bijan and that was Drake London. And maybe that's all you need. I mean, Drake London probably be the top fantasy receiver again this week. So, I'm going to take Atlanta plus the points here. A little bit of momentum right now, and we'll see if they can continue that.
I like Atlanta. Man, they look good against the Bills on Monday night. Now, they are a real Jekyll and Hyde team. I mean, we all remember them looking great earlier this season.
They got shut out there. Yeah.
And then losing 30-0 to the Panthers. But you mentioned the Warner injury, dude. That is devastating for San Francisco. I mean, Bosa's already out, and now you got their leader in the middle and a tackling machine. That could mean a big game for Bijan Robinson. So I was thinking that game as well. I'll pick a different game. I'm going to take the Cowboys -1. This is a huge game in the NFC East.
Can't wait to watch this game. This is my must-watch game. Like, I'm a big Jaden Daniels guy. There should be a ton of points scored in this game. Can't wait to watch this game. That's why. But I stayed away from it because I don't know how it's going to go. Like, I can't wait.
You know, Dallas, they are always in close games, and that's why this, I mean, is essentially a pick 'em right now. They're, I think, -114 on the money line. Washington, -103. But for the sake of the spread, you can get Dallas -105 at -1. They're coming off a tough loss to Carolina, but they're in all these games. I see that CeeDee Lamb isn't entirely ruled out. And wouldn't that be something?
I think they're expecting him to return here, yeah.
I mean, that is a big boost to the Dallas offense that had still been humming. I mean, Dak's playing so well right now. I mean, they got some major issues elsewhere.
Well, and Pickens has been a monster.
That Pickens has been completely WR1 material while he's been out. And you add in Ferguson, of course. They're able to run the football. And here's the thing with the Commanders right now. I mean, they just simply don't have a lot of their weapons. Terry McLaurin's missed most of the games. Deebo Samuel's been in, but isn't anywhere close to full speed. And you never know what's happening in their backfield as well. This is a massive game. It should be a lot of fun. You mentioned this is a must-watch game. The total
is it 54 and a half
highest of the week at 54 and a half.
That's a CFL total, boys. That's good.
And it'll be a fun game for fantasy managers as well. So yeah, let's roll with Dallas. Dallas at -1. So Dusty, we're both on the Patriots,
and you're both on the Giants.
We're both on the Giants.
Do you guys each want to throw one more in each?
So we could start there.
Or is there just one more?
If you wanted us, I would just ride with you on the Lions, obviously. I mean, but that's a Monday night. We should probably try to do something Sunday related, right? Because we can come back around to that game. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, we'll be able to put something together for Monday. I mean, listen, I could go with Atlanta. I'm fine with Atlanta. If you like Dallas or Indy, we could go with that one.
Yeah, I mean, Indy or Atlanta. I'm good either way on that one. I was looking at the Colts as one of my picks, but didn't go there. So I'm good either way. Indy or Atlanta, buddy. They're both +2 here.
As I say, well, I mean, I'm on Indy. You took Atlanta. I was gonna take Atlanta. You know, why don't we do the Falcons?
Okay, let's do Atlanta. Yep.
So Atlanta -2, New England -6.5, Giants
Atlanta +2.
Sorry. Atlanta +2, Giants +7, New England -6.5.
6.5.
Do you want me to bring that down to 5.5?
No. 6.5 is good, but you'll probably have to do the Giants to +7.5 just so it's not on an even number.
So what do you want for the Atlanta? You want to go to 1.5? You want to go to, I'm assuming 2.5? 2.5?
Yeah, I may as well go to 2.5. If you're getting a boost, you're basically just kind of
that's fine.
Of those half points.
I will
Dusty,
send that over
cooking
to
up
this team
anything in the
soon.
prop shop?
Oh, I got one touchdown score for you guys, then I'll sneak away. And so Deebo Samuel's been dealing with a bit of a heel issue. So I'm not too sure. Terry McLaurin's out. Give me a Zach Ertz anytime touchdown, man. He's already got 3 on the year. Jaden Daniels are going to get down that red zone. The total in this game sitting at 54.5. What's the number I saw this morning on a Zach Ertz touchdown? +282. So I'm starting it off juicy. So you guys can I mean, we can go a little chalky on some of these other picks if you want, but Zach Ertz +282 for a touchdown. I think if they get in the red zone, he's probably the guy who's going to be targeted the most.
Love this play today. I'm coming with I as far as just with straight up props, Matthew Golden over 49.5 receiving yards. He's got over 50 in his last 3 games.
Right? Like
86 last year. They're trusting him more. They're playing against Arizona. I think the rookie continues to ascend. I love Rashee Rice over 5.5 catches. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 2 or 3 on the first Chiefs possession. They're going to really try and work him in and show off a little bit of a flex of what's possible now with this. So those are a couple of the props I like. You know what? I was thinking, I kind of like Kyron Williams, knowing that Puka Nacua is out. I think the Rams go to maybe a little bit more. I'm just going to see what the touchdown number is on Kyron.
That's an interesting game to me. I stayed away from it, but I dove into it a little bit, and that's I don't know. I was too scared to get on either side of that one. Jacksonville's defense has been doing great, but can you get Stafford into a couple of turnovers? Might be difficult.
Yeah. So it was Kyron Williams for an anytime touchdown. Other guy that I'm going to get on. We didn't touch on this game actually at all. Speaking of 2-point spreads, is Philly and Minnesota. Yeah. I don't really know what to expect from either of these teams right now. Minnesota coming back after their bye, and of course their time over in Europe. They're at home. Philly seems to be in a bit of a mess right now, but death taxes and Jalen Hurts getting TDs. He's, I think, at plus money, and that hasn't been the case for a while. Plus money for Jalen Hurts to get in. So those are the 2 touchdown scores that I do like. If you want to,
Maddie, you got one
something together like that.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at a Josh Jacobs versus the Cards. 8 of his last 9 road games, he scored at least a touchdown. He's got a pair of TDs in the last couple of games, and the Cards have given up a touchdown to an opposing running back in their last 3 games. So I was going with Josh Jacobs.
You all these analytics, I love it.
Got to try to match you guys to a degree. So I was going to go with Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown against the Cardinals.
Jacobs, Kyron Williams, Zach Ertz.
Yeah, and the Ertz number is going to make it nice for us because both of those, I mean, the Jacobs is juicy. I mean, you could basically do a Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor touchdown parlay every week, and it'll be plus money. I mean, they're big numbers, but together, and those guys just get in. They get in each and every week. I'm seeing -172 for Jacobs, but once you pop in that Zach Ertz touchdown, it'll crank it up nice and big.
I hope I don't let you guys down, but I'm feeling the Zach Ertz touchdown.
It's a ballsy pick, and I love the reasoning for it. I'm going to bet that on its own as well and ride with you, Dusty.
Enjoy the call tonight. We've got a couple big doubleheaders in the CFL, so looking forward to that.
The season alive at BC Place. That'll be fun.
We'll talk with you on Monday.
Yeah, see you, boys.
Dusty will be on the call between the Elks and the Lions. That comes up as the 8:30 game tonight. Green and Gold kickoff show. Myself, Jay Mills, 7:30. We'll get on the air, getting you set for that one. We'll have a close eye in that first game, though, as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers taking on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Elks need help. It'd be great if the Riders could pull off an upset. It'd be great if the Argos this weekend can pull off the upset. Haas, let's shift a little bit here. Let's stay football and go to the Canadian Football League. And I know I haven't looked closely enough. Is Nick Dembski? I know he was looking like he might not be good to go. He's out.
Yeah.
But you're going up against Jake Maier. There's a few other guys that AJ Ouellette's not going for the Riders this weekend. I forgot to wish Dusty luck in his CFL Fantasies finals this weekend for fantasy. He's down 8 points going into this weekend. Got to be feeling good if you're the Bombers looking at the roster that you're going up against in this Saskatchewan Roughriders team. No, Bombers -8 on the spread, by the way.
Yeah. And this one opened at 7, knowing that Harris wasn't going to play. I think once the depth charts came out, it leaked even to 8.5. I'm seeing 8 right now. Listen, this is a game that the Bombers obviously have to have, and Saskatchewan doesn't. So, I mean, the scene and scenario plays right into the Bombers' hands. But you get these rivalry teams together. They don't want to give an inch. And I'll say this about Saskatchewan. There's a lot of guys that are going to be playing tonight that are going to be looking to make the most of the opportunity that they don't normally get. And that can make for a very motivated team, especially one that could go in and be spoilers for their biggest rivals. So I am of the opinion that this game might be closer than a lot of other people believe. Here's the other thing, too. The Bombers' offense has been so wildly inconsistent, looking great one week and then very pedestrian the next. But I have a feeling that they're going to really lean on Brady Oliveira and the running game, and that still might not be easy. I mean, Micah Johnson's out, but the rest of the defensive line is going to be in for Saskatchewan. So to be honest, I mean, it's a big, big number to lay for Winnipeg. I understand why people will do that, thinking that Saskatchewan's just showing up. I am a little nervous on that, but obviously around here, it's all about getting that money line win and just finding a way to win and then see what happened against Edmonton and BC. Where are you at on these two tonight?
Well, to me, this is the first quarter tells me how this game goes, because if the Bombers come out and get up to a nice quick, which they can do, we've seen it at times, 10, 14-0 lead through the first two possessions. I don't think the Riders, with all these players, I don't think they have it in them to come back against the Bombers. I think the Bombers will get rolling and be that ball rolling down the hill. There's no stopping them. However, if the Bombers have a slow first quarter, if we're talking about a tie ball game where the Riders are 3 back or something, I think we're in for a fight, and this comes down to the final 3 minutes. And that's where I would think that the Riders will then cover this one. I think for the Bombers to go take this one, I want to see them be that 40-3, like if that's who they are, be that 40-3 win over Hamilton a couple weeks ago. And that's a strong start. But if they're the team that we saw against Edmonton last weekend, they're a team then that's not having a great first quarter. So I want to see the Riders get this win from an Edmonton perspective. I want that to happen. I'm not sold on Jake Maier as a starting quarterback. So I think the Bombers win this football game, but I do like the Riders keeping this one closer, because I just, as much as it was only just a couple weeks ago, I saw 40-3 for the Bombers. I just can't, it doesn't feel like that's who they are this season. That's kind of an outlier. So
you saw who the Bombers were last week. I mean,
I think that's closer to who they are than the 40-3 against the Ticats.
I mean, the defense is still playing well. I mean, Cody, I think, only had like 140 yards last week. The problem was that Rankin went for about the same amount, including one massive play.
Yes.
And obviously there was that one crazy play where it looked like they forced a turnover, and next thing you know, it's picked up and run into the end zone. And usually that goes the other way for the Bombers. But the game that I'm going to be betting, that I'm interested in, is this one that Dusty's going to be calling tonight, Edmonton and BC. Like, the Elks guys, I believe 9-1 in their last 10 against the spread. Even when they've lost, they have been right there. And regardless of what happens with this Winnipeg game tonight, they know that they'll still be alive if they can win this game this evening. I'm not sure that they'll be able to beat Nathan Rourke in a bit of a track meet, But I'll tell you what, they're going to be going down swinging if they do. I like the Elks to battle right till the end of the 60 minutes. And even if they don't win this game, I think they can be tight. You can have a backdoor cover. But with the team that is just a covering machine now, I'm taking any points I can get with Edmonton against BC tonight.
Well, yeah, ever since Cody Fajardo has come in, him and Rankin are part of the reason. But the Elks defense has also had a huge turning point. And this offense and this defense have just really grown kind of together. But the last five losses the Edmonton Elks had, they lost by 3 points to Saskatchewan. They lost by, they're just like since Cody Fajardo, they lost by 3 points to Saskatchewan. They lost by 4 points to Hamilton. They lost by 21 points on Labor Day to Calgary. They lost by 1 point to Toronto, and they lost by 2 points by Hamilton. Like, for the most part, they keep it really close. That Labor Day kind of is that outlier. I'm fascinated by this one because I think this defense is night and day from the first half of the season. When Cody Fajardo, that little point in the season, came in as a starting quarterback, the defense, though, was giving up 34 points per game. Like, it was ridiculous how easy teams were able to score on this defense, and they've completely flipped that. But in that first part of the season, they took on the BC Lions twice, and Nathan Rourke had his way with this Edmonton Elks team. So this is a great litmus test to see is this defense now legit, which is fascinating because a lot of the top free agents aren't there right now. There's quite a few of those top free agents that Ed Hervey has brought in that are either hurt or not in lineup or aren't being producing, and it's other guys that are doing it, which leads me to look at 2026 going, well, some of those free agent guys that were brought in this year won't be back next year because they're not needed. It's these other guys that are performing. So I'm fascinated to just see now, okay, I saw what this defense did against BC at the start of the year. Now they've improved, but have they really improved, or has it been a little bit of a mirage? We're going to get that test tonight. But I do think that I like the Elks' chances. And the Edmonton Elks, they shouldn't have beaten the Riders a couple weeks ago. They came in and they found a way to get that victory. They got that victory, and sent Calgary into a little spiral when it came to that Labor Day rematch. It's hard to sweep a team 3 times. And look, the Elks have had that happen to them a number of times over the last few years. Weirdly enough, the Bombers had that happen to the Calgary Stampeders this season. I think the Elks with that playoff spot there, it's a little more important for them. And the fight to them is going to be a little bit more than what the BC Lions are going to have. This is going to be a high-scoring game. The line's at 56.5. But I absolutely do like the Elks to cover. The line is 6. I think this week we had it 5.5 when we went through them on Tuesday. Yeah. It's now moved to 6. I do like the Edmonton Elks within 6 points because, and then just the other stat, you have 9-1 against the spread. This Elks team will keep it close. By the way, here are the scenarios for the West for a playoff spot. If BC wins tonight, Winnipeg is in the playoffs. They secure their playoff berth. If Winnipeg loses tonight, or Edmonton loses tonight, or Calgary wins tomorrow, Calgary will clinch their playoff spot. If Winnipeg loses, BC wins, and Calgary loses, BC gets the West semifinal, so they'll clinch second. So those are the 3 scenarios at play for this weekend, and there still is the outside chance that we could have 4 teams tied at 18 points. If BC loses this week, next week, if Calgary loses this week, next week, if Winnipeg goes 1-1 this week and next week, and the Elks win both of their next 2 games. And I believe in that scenario I saw it is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers who are the man
Bombers
left out. And the Bombers are out, which is just crazy.
I mean, Calgary losing to Toronto is unlikely considering the stakes that they have. But, hey, it's the CFL, man.
But and if you said that to me last week, I would have been all on board with that. But Saskatchewan was looking to clinch first in the West as early as possible. And Jared Daggy in Toronto gave him a bit of a fight. And so I will be tuned into that one very closely tomorrow because I do wonder about the Argos. It seems like they don't have their top 2 quarterbacks, but maybe they could go do some magic, which would be something because after the Argos beat the Elks, there was the whole, Ryan Didwitty going to the Elks bench and taunting them and stuff, and Jared Daggy. And then Ryan Didwitty after the game said, I hope they enjoy the offseason. But Ryan Didwitty might be a reason the Edmonton Elks make the playoffs, so we'll be fascinated by that tomorrow. Ottawa-Montreal is the first game tomorrow, though. This line has now gone into double digits. The Owls minus 10.5. Do you see the Red Blacks? Do the Red Blacks play at home next weekend? No. So this could be Bob Dice's last home game as a head coach.
Yeah.
with the Ottawa Redblacks. Do you give the Redblacks a chance to cover a double-digit point spread here?
I mean, listen, I took them at 8, or I took Montreal at 8.5 earlier this week. I mean, they just cruised to a 20-point win last week. It was very, very easy for them. And this is a game that Montreal has to have. I mean, they can keep the heat on Hamilton.
Yep.
And actually tie them and force Hamilton to have to win next week to get first place. But they got to take care of business right now. I mean, with Davis Alexander back and the receivers back, this team, well, listen, even though they're in the predicament and most likely finishing second, their Grey Cup odds are still shorter than the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And there's a reason for that. This is a very different team now that they've got their starting quarterback back. There's not anything that Ottawa has shown as of late that shows me that they're going to all of a sudden step up and have a miraculous rally for that. They had opportunity to do this for the last month, and it hasn't been happening. So to me, it's Montreal, although getting it up into double digits is a little more than I would have liked, considering this one was available at 8.5 when it opened earlier in the week.
And Stamps minus 9.5. That's how that game is looking to be.
Yeah. I found that one the toughest one to play just because we don't really know what the scenarios are going to be other than Calgary needs to win and Toronto is done. They're down to the third string quarterback. Calgary's been pretty Jekyll and Hyde over the last month and a half, but I think you got to think that the Stamps will step up at home and take care of business. And that probably means a double-digit win and a cover.
Today I'm booking my flights to Winnipeg. I'm coming to Winnipeg for Grey Cup, so I'll be out there. I'm coming. I got my accreditation locked in. I will be there. I've got accommodations figured out. Just need to get my flight. I'll probably be there late Thursday, but I'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll be there. My girlfriend booked a place. I don't know. I'm staying there.
Oh, like a hotel or like an Airbnb or
She's got a B&B somewhere. So
excellent.
But I will be there. I'll be ready
I'll
to.
see you on Friday. We're gonna have a party, so make sure you're in town by Friday.
I will be there for Friday. I'll be there for Saturday, and then the game on Sunday, and then I'm actually going to be in town on the Monday. So I'm looking forward to it. I got to book my ticket, the flights later this afternoon, but I'm blocking that in. Let's finish things off. Blue Jays, Mariners. We started looking back at the start of the show. Let's look ahead. 4:08, 5:08 first pitch, Edmonton, Winnipeg time for this game. Gosman heads to the mound. Money line, Blue Jays minus 116, Mariners minus 101 on the spread. Jays minus 1.5 is plus 149. How are you feeling about this one? Where are you at when it comes to this Toronto Blue Jays team? And the over-under set at 7 for this game.
Back all in. And, Dusty, by the way, I meant to give him a shout out. He put us all onto, we were talking about the team total for the Jays yesterday. That over 4.5 paid, I think, plus 148, which was nice. And we had that in on a couple of other things. Listen, it's hard not to like what we're seeing right now from the Blue Jays and the Blue Jay bats. And, of course, they're going to get their second look at Bryce Miller, who was awesome in game number 1 after, he got out of the first inning, only giving up that one run on the Springer homer, and then absolutely locked it down. But as we've seen, this Jays team that showed up in Seattle, a very different team that was playing in the first 2 weeks of the first 2 games at home. I'm riding with the Jays. I mean, got him on the money line. Liking Vlad to stay hot. His is basically even money on over 1.5 total bases. If we wanted to look at home run numbers, Vlad, who's been doing it, he's plus 365. George Springer at plus 349. But I'm kind of looking at Vlad for tonight. And as they say, when the Springer total bases actually 107. So the top 2 guys, I like both of them to make a little something happen at the plate. We're going to stay hot with Vlad at over 1.5. And maybe we do include Springer as well. What about you, Matt? Where are you at as far as this game tonight?
Yeah, it's a tough one because the last time these 2 guys went out there on the mound, we saw a lower scoring game, and there is a part of me that wants that thinks, are you going to get that same pitching duel? I think I would take the over. I think we see these, that's kind of the outlier. I think now these guys, the bats know what they saw from game 1. and 7 runs. Like one of these teams is gonna explode. I think again. Again outside of game 1, this is one of these teams usually then just explodes for big runs. So I do like the over 7 runs in this ball game. I also have to throw up the odds to win this series is both -111 on Play Alberta. Like it's just so tight in this one.
Pick 'em, eh?
It's basically this is a pick 'em right now, and the Mariners. This is all the pressure's on them. If you're the Jays and you drop today, you salvage this series. You're getting it back to Toronto, and you're coming back home, and you have a chance to win 2 games at home to move on to the World Series. The Mariners, you took 2 in Toronto, and you're on the last game now to salvage this home part of this series. Like the pressure that they are going to be feeling going into this game. Like to me, I feel like this is a chance where the Jays are get to be a little loose, get to be a little freer as well. And I do think they're going to maybe be able to get to Miller because they're not, no matter what, the Jays are going back to Toronto. And that's not something necessarily we fully thought that we were going to say maybe going into Seattle. So I do like the Jays to win this one as well. I also like the over in this game. So it's going to be a wild game out in...
I'll be honest. I'm a little shocked of what you just said about the series being a pick'em right now. I mean, to me, the Jays should be... I mean, listen, they've regained home field advantage.
Yeah.
They've got all the momentum. Their bats are going crazy right now. Like, in what world are the Jays not a favorite to win the series?
Because
if you're a Jays fan right now, you want to jump on that. I mean, to me, the pitching line's up. I mean, they've got their guys back. I think Gosman, they've got a very good chance of just winning this thing, frankly, in 6, which sounds crazy considering where they were leaving Toronto. But I'm surprised that number is a pick'em between these two teams based on what we've seen in the last 2 and the fact that the Jays, who've been a great home team all year, didn't look like it in game 1 and 2, are going to have that opportunity to play in front of a absolutely bananas crowd on Sunday and potentially Monday for a game 7 if it goes that far.
Yeah, I think that's just the case of, if the Mariners win this game, they just need to go snag 1. And they've already done 2 in Toronto, and there's that little opening there. But the value is there for, the Jays and the Mariners. Maybe I was saying this in the Hangout. I was going to throw up a boosted. Maybe I'll do a double boosted, like different bets, though. Blue Jays winning the World Series. It was probably plus 385. We can get that boost a little bit higher. And maybe I'll get the boosted Jays series just outright from the -111. We could probably get that in plus territory with a boost there. So maybe I'll have to throw that up there for all of the lock shoppers as well.
A lot of people that want to jump on it. As they say, I think the number right now is in favor of Blue Jays bettors. Yep. It probably should be more like -125 and plus 105 or plus 110 for Seattle, from my opinion.
Well,
and I am sitting on a 7-1 Jays ALCS American League future, so we're sort of locked in on that, and I know many of you are as well from the summer.
Well, and before I let you go here quickly, I'll also just go. I'd rather be the team that has the bats that are hot at the moment than trying to find the bats again. And the Jays found their bats; they're hot right now. The Mariners' bats have gone a little colder. I'd rather be the team that has the hot bats. Huss, what's coming up on EST? Or WST, sorry, WST.
WST. Craig Button's going to pop by. We're going to talk some Jets and NHL with Craig. Looking forward to that. Murata Tesh of The Athletic. Jeff Hamilton will pop by. We're going to hit the Jets, Blue Jays, CFL tonight. Hacksaw with the NFL Notebook, Marble Race, business as usual on Friday afternoon at WST.
Huss, enjoy all of the sports this weekend. Enjoy it. We'll talk with you next week.
Right back at it. Nasties, have a great week.
There's Huss Remus coming up, WST. Go check them out. Great stuff over there. Lock Shop today. What has been built? They'll go up on EST specials. TD prop bet. We've got the Lock Shop NFL parlay. I will throw up those Jays ones in there. Jay and Matt's big play of the game. We got to get that up there for Elks Lions tonight. We'll have the grandest parlay, the silliest parlay. EST afternoons. Let's do it. I think maybe they'll build one today. And I'll build a little CFL one for today. I think maybe I'm going to go Riders to cover and the Elks to cover. And we'll build a little CFL parlay as well for the Lock Shop. Check it out. PlayAlberta.ca, click EST specials. That's where you'll get all this stuff exclusive to Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to the Lock Shop presented by Play Alberta. We got Oil Stream, we got EST Afternoons, we got the Reed Wilkins Show all until 6 o'clock, 7:30 tonight. Myself, Jay Milne, we got the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. We'll get you set for Elks and the Lions right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. On behalf of Dusty, Huss, I am Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Oil Stream in a few minutes. Have a good one.